Not liking the word moist is just an invention of people trying to seem interesting. A lot of people online claim to have something against the word moist, as if it is nasty or creeps them out. There is nothing wrong with the word. People just joined in with it because it was a trend. The word moist makes me feel literally nothing. It's a word we use in conversation. Context is always important, but in general, saying moist in a normal conversation isn't something I would think twice about. The word cock makes me really uncomfortable. I don't have a reason, it just does. I mean, moist certainly has connotations, like it or not. The bulging tree towered erect over the freshly plowed moist field. Is just regular English describing boring scenery, but it's also dripping with innuendo. I don't really mind the word moist, but the word panties really annoys me. It sounds so damn weird and creepy. My wife hates the word tender. Penetration is the worst word, makes me pucker every time. I actually like the word moist ironically. The first thing I think about is moist cake. Moist. In my opinion, the worst word is succulent. Initiating moisture. The worst word is smear. Fuck everything about that word. It's a reference to dead like me. I have this thing with the word forklift, it makes my mouth feel weird, like it's dry but also not. It's weird and hard to explain. I get this feeling if I see a forklift or I hear the word. It's fucking bizarre. It's not really relevant, I need to post this somewhere. Anyway, my current theory is that in past life I was killed by a forklift and it squashed my throat, so that's why my mouth feels weird. https://imager.com/y900p PNG. This thread makes me moist. Moist sweat droplets fountain cloud with rain droplet water wave. I started a Facebook group called Give Moist a Chance. Does that make me interesting? It makes me feel dirty and quite literally gives me a sensation of a bad taste in my mouth. That word makes me feel nothing, and it's a word that I use commonly. The only word that makes me feel something is ointment, and I can't explain why. I've hated the word ever since I was a kid, before I had internet. To me, the word moist brings up a feeling of stepping on a wet leaf, or walking through a puddle with socks on. I don't like word. Never once did I think it made me more interesting. Moister than an oyster. I love moist things. I don't like the word giblets. Fondle makes me super uncomfortable. LMAO. Moist reminds me of swamp ass. Whether that is because it became popular, I'm not sure. But it does have a gross connotation for me. There are way worse words. I've heard caviar described as little pustules, and the words sodden/sopping aren't too pleasant. Moist is perfectly fine as a descriptor. I'm old enough to remember when moist was the ideal for a Duncan Hines Devil's Food chocolate cake. Queef gushing moist smooshing pap smears. I'm pretty sure it's a joke about a TV series called How I Met Your Mother. One of the character claimed she hated the word. And how was this not a thing until like 10 years ago? This is just something you can't relate to. It doesn't mean that it doesn't make others cringe. I once dated a girl who made promise to stop saying it. I thought it was funny at first, then realized it caused her real distress. I've relate BC. I have misophonia, which means I'm triggered by common mouth noises. Count yourself lucky if you don't. Auditory or sense-based disorders. Didn't it become a mainstream hate because of some TV show or movie? Or, crazy concept, people just widely dislike that word. I agree, your mom was quite moist the other night. Had a girl in my class a few years ago who said she didn't like the word moist. Needless to say, Moisty Meyer to the rescue. It's not a trend. It's a condition called logomesia, and is really uncomfortable. I find the word damp to be dirtier. Asterisk, it sure is a hot day out today. My vagina is super damp. This is making me moist. I don't mind the word moist if it's spoken quickly. If it's slowly enunciated, I don't care for it one bit. Same thing with the word beach. I grew up in the northern United States where people talk faster and never had these problems till I moved to the south. But the word syllabus though. Nails on a chalkboard. You obviously have not seen the movie Clumps, the scene where Granny declares that Mike Douglas is the only white man that has made her moist. But science has proven that it's a gross word. I find the word makeup physically repulsive. I have no idea why. Not to the point where I won't use it, I just find it icky. I'm half afraid now to say that I really dislike that word, but I do. I have for as long as I can remember, although I can't actually say if I was influenced by TV. I can't explain the hatred for it. There's something about it that makes me feel uncomfortable, anxious, and cringe, the way it sounds in the mouth. I can't just feel it. I did have a friend who used to say it a lot to wind me up, and she would exaggerate the word and it sounded all sloppy and wet. I just hate it.